Here with Steve Rolls, big fight Saturday here at MSG against Triple G. And Steve, one thing that I've learned is that when you box, you got to protect yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
No one is going to hit me. Great to have you with us on the MSG 150 presented by Chase. They don't have the gloves. Much to come over the next 2.5 hours. A jam-packed show. As always, we have Adam Schefter joining us. He, of course, from ESPN, is going to talk to us about the Jets and the Giants. Speedy Claxton, former Hofstra star in the studio, and a special guest with him. Paul LaDuca joins the show. He is now a horse racing handicapper. He'll get us ready for the Belmont Stakes. And Teddy Atlas and Steve Rolls talk boxing. All coming up as we say hello to Monica McNutt, John Wallace, and Alan Hahn. How's everybody? So you can't jab me today. I have protection.
Good though. I got a long reach.
See, got you there, right?
I wish your hands were that big. I don't know if anybody want to fight you if your hands are that big though. But can you lift the gloves up enough to protect yourself?
Those gloves are almost as tall as I am.
Be a good fight though.
Yes, we're going to talk about the boxing, another big Saturday at MSG. But first, our hot topics presented by Lexus, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Knicks. Injuries. The big story heading into Wednesday night's Game 3. Kevin Durant, been out now since May 10th. Klay Thompson, let's say very questionable for Game 3 with the bad hammy. And Kevon Looney is out, broken collarbone. So the question becomes, no Klay Thompson potentially here, Monica. What happens to the Warriors?
Goodness, that is a game changer. I mean, essentially, Klay Thompson kept them in Game 2 in that first half as a one-man band in a way. I guess I got to go back to the bench. I mean, you need Steph to have a very signature Steph game, but I think part of what works so well for Steph is the spacing that he's able to get because Klay and those other guys are out there. Steph in the bench? Steph in the bench?
Well, McKinney's going to have to step up. That's what is going to fall on McKinney's shoulders. And, hopefully Klay's able to get back because you don't want that asterisk by the, when my Raptors come back and win this thing. Just because
my personal.
Well, because I picked them.
Okay.
I'm the only one that picked them up here.
Fair enough.
You're the only one who picked them in a lot of places.
So,
You're right.
I'm going to go back to those.
And I don't mind that. I've done that before in my life.
If you're the Warriors, though, you're going to be conservative with Klay Thompson given where we are in the series?
Probably.
Yes.
I mean, but there's a couple of questions. Number one, as you see the list of injured players, I just need a list of who's not hurt. Because it seems like that's probably a shorter list right now. The Warriors are all banged up. But I also feel like if Klay doesn't go in Game 3, how much urgency do they put into Kevin Durant making himself available for Game 3? He does have an extra day, can get a practice in, maybe see if he can go. And at what percentage do you say, I'd rather have him at, 70% than not at all? If you don't have Klay Thompson. These two games at home are very important.
Very.
It's very important to get control of the series. You'll have the building. And now subs and reserves do play better at home than they do on the road.
Right.
Maybe you'll get momentum, but I'm telling you, this
You
is
believe that? The sub thing on the road?
It's a fact.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
a fact.
Why is that?
That's a
Because
scientific
it's home.
fact.
It's where you practice. You know that rim.
But why is it different for starters?
Because the stars do what they do. Like guys, it doesn't bother guys who are like Kevin Durant's going to drop 50 on the road or at home. It doesn't matter. Like those players, but like for guys like Quinn Cook. He played good in Toronto, but he plays normally better at home.
Lighting better in your home gym or something?
Listen, it's just familiar.
familiarity.
It's familiar. It's like sleeping in your own bed. Like it's a thing, Bill. But I want to go back though, because Steph on the bench. Yeah, that came to my mind first. But Boogie is having a resurgence of sorts,
He's playing
and
good.
we saw Draymond nearly get that triple-double the last time they were out. This team, Klay, Draymond, Boogie as your that's not the Warriors as we know
what
it.
you guys are missing is their two best perimeter defenders, Iguodala and now Klay Thompson are both. Iguodala's kind of hurt a little bit, but Klay Thompson's going to probably not play the third game. So he's going to miss Game 3. Their two best perimeter defenders, Klay being out and Iguodala not being 100%. And hopefully the Raptors are able to take advantage of
Hopefully you don't have a choice if you're in Toronto, though. Like, Danny got to come ready to knock down shots.
Absolutely.
Kyle has to have a far better
Game 3 is
offensive game.
opportunity.
Absolutely.
Game 3 is
This is
They
it.
got to really limit Steph's Curry, especially if Klay's not playing. They got to really limit Steph's effective shooting in Game
He's not
3.
as effective without Klay on the floor. Period,
That's
right?
what I'm saying, yeah. So
okay.
Van Vliet's got to really get up in him. I think Van Vliet's been playing him very good this series.
Physical.
And he's got to really, if I was Nurse, I might start Van Vliet, just to get him right up in there,
over Kyle Lowry?
Well,
or in the same backcourt together?
Yeah, same backcourt, because I would try to take advantage of the way that Van Vliet gets up in Steph and makes it hard for him to get going. Because once Steph gets going, it's it's hard to stop.
Especially in that building.
Hope it's contained.
So injuries, obviously, big theme in the NBA Finals. Injuries, a potential big story in the NHL Cup Final. Last night, Boston and St. Louis. The Blues won the game. Zdeno Chara, the star for the Bruins here, early in the second, puck to the mouth, didn't return, but did spend the third period on the bench, didn't come back in.
Look at this. Look.
But that's brutal. Now, these are obviously tough guys, and he came back to watch the game from the bench in the third period. But if he can't go,
no one tougher than him.
And who knows? They didn't really have. They're never going to give an official report. But that looks significant.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think what they've been talking about, they think he needs stitches and maybe some dental work, as I'm sure. And for hockey, that's generally, it goes without saying. But yeah, he shows back up on the bench though in the third period to be with his team. He had a cage on covering up his face just to protect his face, but didn't want to sit in the back. Wanted to be out there. This is a guy that's been in the league, over 20 years.
He's over 40.
Yeah, and he's a leader, but he's also one of the toughest players this sport has ever seen. Physically tough, but also just what he's been through. So to see him come back out to me on the bench for his team says a lot about him. Never mind the injury, just says a lot about him to want to just be there. No, he can't play.
Absolutely.
But just to be there.
Question of the day here. We want to discuss amongst ourselves and throughout the show our most starstruck moment. And I'll tell you, I'll start with mine. First time I ever met Bill Parcells.
That's cool.
I was at my first TV job in Binghamton, New York, and we went to Albany to cover training camp. And Bill Parcells had a field day with yours truly. He mocked me. I'm in there in the scrum with all the beat reporters, and he's giving me one-word answers, and I'm just shaking to begin with, and he totally had so much fun with me, and he was like winking to everybody that he's messing around with this young reporter. But I was starstruck then, and I met Parcells again when we both were at ESPN. I was starstruck then again. I don't know what it is about him.
He has a presence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I have not been starstruck a ton, and I think it's because in your head, like as an athlete, you're like, for real, I could do that if I wanted to. Like, there's this competition, even though it's completely absurd. But you'll appreciate my starstruck moment as a kid. Syracuse came to play Georgetown. I was obsessed with Carmelo Anthony.
Yes.
And so I was the ball girl that game. And like I was like on the floor and like super captivated. And my mom's like, "Do you remember being like, he sweated on me?" And I'm like, "Did I actually say that?" She's like, "Yes, your life was made. Like you had so much
That's
fun."
not something you say forever, is it?
No, I don't have that T-shirt, but I remember that moment.
Now for me, it's 1992 McDonald's All-American game where the Hawks are playing the Bulls. Dominique Wilkins is like our host, so it's like Dominique was, kind of a star to us. Not like huge, but, kind of a star because the real star was Michael Jordan. And when we had a chance to not only meet Michael Jordan, but talk to him for a little bit, and the only autograph that he signed was mine, Jason Kidd, and I think Roger Groves. The three of us got autographs, so we were like hoarding like protecting that Chicago Bulls hat that I had signed.
Right.
I remember him saying to us, basically, you guys are going to get tired of this one day in terms of the autograph stuff. Because we were like, he was signing everything, trying to do, being the most polite guy he could be. But it's after a game, he's sweating, he wants to get in the shower and probably go to the next city. And he still took the time out to come over to the McDonald's All-American game participants and sign a couple of our hats and talk to us. And I'll never forget that.
That's cool.
That's really cool. I have two, and I'll make it quick. First
you know how to make something quick?
I will try. Not as fast as Speedy.
We're going to commercial. No, just kidding.
First one is President Bill Clinton. And it was in a hotel lobby during the lockout. He happened to be walking by. He saw a couple of reporters, and all he wanted to do was talk basketball. And it was just an amazing conversation. Cool. And half the time, it's just going like, "Is he real?" Like it was incredible. but true, and this is the truth. I'm not making this up. I'm a teenager. I'm with my friend Ben. We went to a Knicks game. The game is over. We're in the parking garage. There's Al Troutwig, and he's walking to his car. And my friend, who knows, like I was obsessed with MSG Network, I was obsessed with the Knicks, and obviously knew who he was. And he knew what I wanted to do. He taps me, he goes, "Hey, look, it's Al Troutwig." So I just was like, "Hey, Al." And it froze. And he's just sitting there like as calm, cool as Al Troutwig, and he just goes, "How you doing?" And I was like, "Good." And then we just drove off, and he's like, "You idiot! That was Al Traubing. You could have talked to him. That was your chance, and you just froze."
Al is still like that next to Al on that Knicks pre and post game show.
But it just like that was, I was starstruck.
Yeah.
It's like, that's Al Traubing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, now I get to work with him.
For more great videos from the MSG 150, check out right there. And remember, our show is on Monday through Thursday, 8 to 10:30 p.m. on MSG Network and MSG Go.